What has this process been like for you? Did you have any kind of behind the scenes conversations about the trade beforehand? And what have kind of those early conversations been like with Tyler and Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start out with a conversation with Tyler Jeff. I'm extremely excited about Chicago, and their excitement about me, I think, is extremely refreshing. Like you all know, I've been in the same organization for a really long time, and playing under Coach T and E. They were phenomenal, and they believed in me, and so it's nice to go somewhere where people believe in you. Um, that's what every player wants. Every player wants excitement around them. So it's been really good conversations. And I was excited and really interested to hear about their interest in me and why. So it was really nice to have those conversations. I'm really thankful for the opportunity to be a part of an organization that is taking it very seriously and going in the right direction.
Obviously, this is a new regime going through the Sky right now with Tyler Marsh, first year head
Mhm.
coach. What have you, if you've had any conversations with him, what have those conversations been like? And what are some things that stand out to you about what he's preaching his style of play will be?
Competitiveness and culture, I think, are two words that I keep hearing, and that's exciting because it's all I want to do. I want to come in, compete, and impact, and give my team everything I have, so that we can not only have a great culture but have a winning culture as well. It's nice to hear him and hear him talk about how he wants to have very clear expectations, and clear expectations lead not only to a good locker room, but it leads to a really great foundation. And it gives players the confidence to go out and run through a wall, not only for each other, but for the staff as well.
That is new Chicago Sky guard Ariel Atkins talking about joining the Chicago Sky and also talking about head coach Tyler Marsh for the Chicago Sky. Thank you for joining us today. That's Callie Finn. I'm Natalie Esquire, and we're so grateful that you came on today to talk with us.
No, I'm grateful to be here. Thanks for having me.
We gotta immediately just ask for your reaction to hearing Ariel say all those positive things about your initial conversations with her. And like, it sounds like she's so on the same page. She mentions wanting to run through a wall. How does it feel just to hear that?
That's what you want as a coach. That's the kind of mentality that you want, especially from a veteran, a seasoned veteran at that, someone who has Olympic experience, WNBA championship experience. Those are all inviting words to what we're trying to create here in Chicago, and I think Ariel's going to fit perfect into what we're trying to do moving forward.
What is it that you are most excited about or looking forward to in terms of working with her and what she'll bring to the Sky? I mean, obviously, we know about her defense. We know she's going to help space the floor with her shooting. You're getting a little look at her and Angel Reese at Unrivaled together right now. So, is there anything you like that you're already seeing, and what are you most looking forward to with her coming to join this team?
Yeah, I mean, she knows the game first and foremost. So the experience is invaluable that she has, a winning experience, what that means on the court and in the locker room as well. And not just to pair her with Angel and Camilla, but to pair her with Courtney, and to see what kind of backcourt they can do together. Obviously, the additions that we had in Beck Allen and Kia Nurse is great. We got shooters in Rachel Banham and Kayla. I'm excited just to ingratiate her with the rest of the team. And then she knows the game. Like she's a first type of player, and so having that kind of veteran IQ on the team as well, surrounded with our young talent also is going to be a great fit.
In addition to the big move to trade for somebody like Ariel, you still have like your exciting rookies from last season to build on. You know, Nat mentioned Angel Reese at Unrivaled. What are you seeing from her, and how is that altering your expectations for this upcoming season from Angel?
Yeah, I don't think it's altered any. I think that we've always had high expectations for Angel, for Camilla, for the rest of our team, and so it's just great to be able to see Angel's growth over the course of Unrivaled from the start to where we're at now, and seeing her do things like, I mean, we know the rebounding ability that she has, but her ability to defend multiple positions, I think, has been on display in Unrivaled. Her ability to push the ball in transition has been on display as well, and I think passing is an underrated aspect of her game. And so I'm excited to utilize all of those strengths and skill sets that Angel has, and import them into the rest of our team and what we're trying to do as schematically.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Unrivaled. Curious to just, one, get your thoughts on the league as a whole, but also how you see Angel playing and developing her game in that league. She's had the chance to work with Lisa Leslie. We've seen video of Kalia Copper working with her on her finishing. She's looked great. She's been going off lately, but I mean, she just looks so good at Unrivaled. And so I see you tweeting about her all the time. Are you liking what you're seeing? And what is your thoughts on what the effect that Unrivaled's having on her game?
Man, it seems like my tweets always come up some sort of way, pertaining to Angel. I know when I first got the job in Chicago, and people were digging in my tweets about her in LSU and kind of the potential that I saw there. But no, I think again, I think Unrivaled has been entertaining. It's been entertaining games across the board, and I think one of the cool aspects of it is that for the majority of the coaches, the 6 coaches that are there, they all have player development experience. So whether it's Angel or anyone else, kind of there, they're getting hands-on player development experience by top-tier coaches, and so that's been great. And then there's no replacement for playing against the best players in the world and the best players in the league. So being able to go up against that type of competition night after night, whether it's 3-on-3 or whether it's 5-on-5. It's an invaluable experience for someone who's just entering their second year in their professional career at Angel. And so it's been great to see how her teammates have embraced her. Obviously, the experience that I've had with Chelsea personally in Las Vegas, I knew that was going to be a tandem that was, that was going to be very beneficial for Angel moving forward. And then when she gets to Chicago and playing with another, legendary point guard in Vandersloot, like, it's going to be a seamless transition for her. And so we're excited to get that going.
Ariel Atkins mentioned during her presser, she talked about Angel and Kamilla Cardoso a lot. She gave both of them a lot of high praise during her initial presser. And you called both Angel and Kamilla the cornerstones of the Chicago Sky franchise. So let's talk about Kamilla a little bit, because I see your tweets about her too. I'm going to keep bringing up your tweets, Tyler. But see, that's what Ariel Atkins had to say. Our young post players are people that can only get better. Do you agree with Ariel? Because Kamilla has been balling overseas, and I've seen you tweeting about her overseas.
Yeah, I think that people forget that Kamilla was the 3rd pick in the draft, and she's somebody that's a force to be reckoned with too. Her potential is through the roof. She's someone who is a willing and capable passer as well. So her ability to finish inside, but then also find the open teammate is going to be crucial in terms of how we want to play offensively. But defensively, those two are 2 young, mobile, active bigs that can rebound, that can defend, that can block shots. So I'm excited to see what the tandem can do moving forward, what their potential is individually, but then also together. And then, being able to watch a few overseas games of Kamilla over in China, like, she's been dominating over there in her own right. And so it's great for her confidence moving forward and how she brings that over and carries that over into the W season. But we're excited to get her back over here and to get to work, pairing her and Angel together. But yeah, those two are kind of the mainstays and the faces of this franchise, and being able to surround them with veterans that can help bring the best out of them on and off the court, I think is what our main goal was. And so I'm just excited to pair those, our vets with our young talent.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about pairing them with vets, and you look at the Sky's free agency moves. You mentioned getting Courtney Vandersloot. You also added Kia Nurse, Beck Allen. Like, this was not a calm free agency period for the Sky by any means. What do those moves tell you about what you can expect for the upcoming season?
Yeah, I think that people just kind of expected us to just cash the season in. A first-year head coach going into a season with young potential, but I think that a lot of teams are probably looking forward to next season when the free agency class is wide open for everyone. And so I think for us, our focus wanted to be on this season. How can we be the most competitive Chicago Sky team this season, and who we need to bring in to help develop that culture moving forward, and set the standards of what we hope to be moving forward. And knowing that, and hoping that we have Angel and Kamilla for the long haul. We wanted to put the best pieces around them, the most shooting possible to spread the floor. Obviously, a vet point guard in Sloot and what she can do with those 2 bigs. And when she first signed with us, when Sloop first signed with us, she texted me and she was like, "This is a point guard's dream. Have two young bigs like this. Like it's something that she can only hope for." And so again, we're looking forward to big things from both Angel and Kamilla this season and beyond.
You talk about Courtney, and I'm just curious, what ways specifically do you think, her reunion with the Sky and coming back, that she'll be able to help Kamilla? I mean, yeah, help Kamilla and Angel in terms of, I know you talked about like early, getting them easier shots and making the game easier on them. So is that like one of the main goals you see for her, or what else do you think she's going to help with respect to their games?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I mean, she's obviously a legend, not just in this league, but in this city. And so her, kind of having that warm welcome back home is going to be great to see. But, for Sue, she has an ability to make other people around her better and highlight their strengths. And so I think as Angel and Kamilla grow into who they're going to be, for the rest of their career and figuring out who they are as players, Sloop can help aid with that. But, speaking into specifics, Courtney is best with the ball in her hands. And so putting her in pick and roll situations where Angel is able or Kamilla is able to sprint into screens and sprint out of screens and, figuring out what angles Sloop likes to be set at so that she can get downhill and find the open teammate is going to be crucial, but it's a part that, that Sloop is advanced at. And so that's where we see her helping us from an offensive standpoint anyway.
It sounded like you kind of alluded to the upcoming 2025 WNBA draft, maybe impacting the way that some teams are approach this offseason. Just maybe like from an outside perspective, like maybe not through the lens of the Sky, but when you look at this upcoming draft, what stands out to you about just what this league can expect from the upcoming talent?
Yeah, I think that it's a pretty deep draft, depending on what you're looking for. But you have a bunch of scorers in this year's draft, and so I think that figuring out what's the best fit for us. We obviously traded our third pick, and so we have 10 now in the first round. We have 16 and 22 in the second round. So we're going into the draft with three overall picks, and so we're trying to find the best players that fit for our scheme and what we're trying to do in our culture and our locker room and things like that. And so, we're looking forward to it, but I think that you look across the board, it's probably a guard heavy, wing heavy draft this year. I think there's tons of talent this year and, looking forward to future drafts as well. I think college basketball is just, loaded with talent and future talent. And as we, expand in the W with more teams coming in, it's only going to help, create future spots for these upcoming prospects that are coming out.
Tyler, hey, can we get that depth chart back up that we had before? And we're not saying that this is your starting lineup or anything. We just sort of look through who we know the Chicago Sky is working with so far. So when you see the names on here, it looks like, Angel Reese could use a little depth to help her out. Are there potential further moves that are not in the draft that you guys might be looking to make, or do you think you're going to find that additional help in the draft to fill out the rest of this roster?
I think that what you've seen from us in free agency thus far and on the trade market thus far is we're not afraid to make moves and to take chances. And so I think that we're open to doing what makes sense for us to make us a better basketball team. But again, I think that we put a high priority on the individuals that we bring in here, from a cohesiveness standpoint. And so I think that, kind of the vet presence that we have now, we feel good about what our front court depth looks like with Kamilla and Angel and Elizabeth especially. And so, I think that there's going to be different things that we can do. We want to be versatile. So maybe some instances where we're playing Michaela or Rebecca at the four as well. And so we're mix and match some things. But again, I think moving forward for filling out the rest of our roster, whether it's the draft or whether it's, finding in a free agency or in training camp, we just want to get, the best possible fits. We're not really tied into a position right now.
Something I have to ask you, just because the last time we talked, you and I were in Las Vegas and we were talking about your aspirations to become a head coach. And now you've had some months on the job. The season hasn't yet started, but you've gotten a feel for it. And I'm just curious, how does the reality of being a WNBA head coach compare to the dream?
I think it's right on par with it. I think that it's a blessing to be in this seat. I don't take it for granted. I know the responsibility that comes with it that extends beyond wins and losses and X's and O's. And so, what I'm extremely grateful for too is the staff that I've assembled thus far and that we've assembled thus far, and how they can help me grow as well. And so, I think that whether it's Tanisha or Courtney, those two are going to be huge for my development as a head coach and for what we're trying to do moving forward. And so we wanted to, create an environment where we can kind of bounce ideas off of each other, where we can grow each other. And so I'm just extremely grateful. I'm extremely grateful for the time that I had in Vegas and how that helped prepare me for where I'm at now. And it was invaluable experience being under someone like Coach Hammond and the Aces organization. So I still keep in touch with them every now and then. And they're a huge part of my story, especially moving forward. And so, those guys are like family. If I talk too long, I'm gonna get emotional talking about the Aces, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. But no, I'm very blessed and honored to be in this position here in Chicago. Everybody here has embraced me with open arms, and the city has been great thus far. My family loves it here thus far. My 2-year-old son's playing in the snow all the time, so it's been great.
You mentioned
Yeah.
your family, and I think you had a tweet also about you being away for a while, and so your son, just excited to see you when you got back. It looked like you went to AU. You've kind of been traveling around. Is all of that about you? Were you there just to see Kia Nurse? Were you also scouting? Are you moving around to talk to all the different players Chicago has acquired?
Yeah, it's been a little of both. I've been out on the road. The rest of my staff has as well. Been to college games, scouting, for the draft as well. But yeah, AU was just about showing support for Elizabeth and for Kia. I wanted to kind of get some hands-on um, time with each of them, and so it was great seeing those two and being able to see Elizabeth bounce back from her injuries that she sustained last year, and seeing her back on the court and happy and healthy has been great. And seeing Kia having fun out there again and getting back to herself has been awesome as well. And just spending time with them. I think that we want to invest as much time as possible into our players and into the rest of our staff, because we want this to feel like home for everyone. And so that's what we're trying to create moving forward. And so no, AU was a great time. I love going out to AU. Been out there the last 3 years. I love what they're doing out there as well. I love the format and everything. And so it was always a fun time out there.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned if you talk too long about the Aces, you're gonna get emotional. Because I remember seeing all the tweets. Everybody in Las Vegas had a story about you when the news broke that you were leaving. It was like, Tyler helped me move. Tyler did this for me in the arena. So I think it's safe to say that when the Sky come to Las Vegas, it'll be emotional for all the fans in the building. So we're just gonna be counting down the days till that first matchup between the Aces and the Sky.
Yeah, I'm glad I got a few months to prepare for that, because we don't play them till later in the season. I think they come here first in August, and then we go there at the end of the season in September. But those days are certainly circled on the calendar, just because that is family, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. I know they'll continue to be great and do great things moving forward, and so. That's ultimately how we want to be here in Chicago. We want to be talked about with the Aces and with the Liberty and with the Lynx and those kind of teams regularly. And so that's how we're pushing. Those are the kind of standards that we want to create here and what we want to work to.
Well, Tyler, before we wrap, I just have to ask, what are your expectations going into next season for your cornerstones, Angel and Kamilla, but also for the team at large? Because I think many thought going into the season that the Chicago Sky are rebuilding, but you guys seem to be going all in. Obviously, with the Ariel Atkins trade, you brought in veterans like Kia and brought Courtney back, and then you mentioned, Liz. So this team looks like they're trying to compete now. So what are the expectations going into next season?
Yeah, I think that I think the expectation is to set clear expectations, if that makes sense. I think that for us, we want to, and it's kind of alluding to what Ariel talked about in her press conference. Like we want a clear vision on who we want to be moving forward, and then each day we want to work towards being that team and that organization. And so I don't know what that looks like from a wins and losses standpoint. I think that you can kind of get into the weeds with that. I think for us, we want to set a standard to work towards. And then you live with the results from that if you feel like you're meeting those standards each and every day. And so we want to create great habits. We want to create great standards for each other. And we want to be an environment that's fun to come to work each and every day, to work with each other and to move forward towards a goal that we have. I think that, one of the things I always appreciated about Vegas, and I've said this a few times in the past, is that, in those championship runs in 22 and 23, you never really heard the word championship in our locker room. It was just something that we knew that was a goal, but we knew that there was a standard in place that we had to meet each night, to obtain that. And so I think that, here in Chicago, we got to understand what our job is individually, and then how to kind of combine that as a group, so that we can strive for the same goal. And so that's really the mission for this year, and what the expectation is again for everyone to be aligned, so we're moving forward in the right direction and in the same direction.
Callie, did you have anything for Tyler before we go?
No, I'm so excited to see you lead this team. I mean, this has obviously been a really exciting off season, and so me and Nat, we're locked in. We'll be watching.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support from you guys, from everyone, that has shown me support, not just with getting this job, but has shown the Sky support moving forward. We appreciate it as a staff, as a team, and as an organization. And so we're going to do our best to push forward in the right way.
Yeah, we're definitely rooting for your success and that all goes well in Chicago, and good fortune and good health as well for all your players.
I appreciate that.